pleasant morning to one you all. It's here Pooja Vajpayee at Shiva Group of Institutions. Welcome you all with the video lecture class. Student, today I am before you with English language portion and the class ICC board class 9. And the topic that I am going to deliver before you, that is narration. If we talk about the syllabus of English literature, so we have completed the whole syllabus of English literature till first term. Now we are going to start the topic narration. That is the topic of English language portion. So student, that is a new topic for you. I hope so that you are familiar with that topic because you have studied this topic earlier, and that is not new for you. But today I am going to deliver this thing. And if we talk about this particular word, narration, if we talk about this one, so narration, it is written in noun form. It is noun, and the word that hasn't come from this one. That has been come from this one, narrate. Because narrate is your verb, and the narration, that is your noun. Fine. And it is classified into two. It's classified into two: direct and indirect. Okay. So what does it mean by, what does these two words denote? Direct means the thing or the talk that we talk in a direct way, and the thing that we talk in indirect way. Okay. So in narration topic, we just change direct things from indirect. Okay. So before starting this one, we should know many more things. What is your reporting speech? What is your reported speech? And what are the rules and regulations by which you can change direct into indirect narration? Fine. So first thing is that you should know how many types of the sentences which are changed from direct to indirect. Okay. So let's talk about the sentences, because this is the first and foremost basic thing of that. The 5 types of the sentences are there. Assertive, I'm just writing over here. This one. Assertive sentences. Okay, fine. And the next one is interrogative. Fine. And the third one, that is your imperative sentences. And next one is your objective. And the last one, that is your exclamatory sentences. Okay. So let's discuss about it, because your narration topic is totally based on all these types of the sentences. Some rules are same in all types of the sentences, just like verb change, pronoun change and other changes, but some rules are different according to types of the sentences. Suppose that if we talk about the assertive sentence, in the assertive sentence we use different conjunction. In the interrogative sentences we use different conjunction. In the imperative sentences we use different types of the sentences, different types of the conjunctions. And the way of changing the sentences is something different. In the same way, objective and exclamative sentences. So some rules are same in all types of the sentences, but some rules are different according to the types of the sentences. So the first thing is that you should know all the types of the sentences very well. You should thoroughly get to know the types of the sentences. This thing is not new for you. If you talk about the first one that is written before you, assertive sentences, this is classified into two, the affirmative and the negative one. It's classified into two, affirmative and negative. Fine. Affirmative and negative sentences. Fine. So if we talk about the affirmative sentence has a positive sense in itself, and it's always give a positive sense. It is always started with your subject. Then after we use either helping verb or main verb of the sentence, and then after we use object of the sentence. At the end of the sentence we put full stop. This is the basic rule of using affirmative sentence. And if we talk about the negative one that is written before you, so negative sentence always gives a negative sense, and the different thing is that we use no or not word in the sentence. And the using of this sentence is that first we use subject, then after we use helping verb, then after we use not, then after we use main verb of the sentence. At the end of the sentence we use object. Either you can say the complement of the subject. At the end of the sentence we use full stop. So these two are explained before you. I am just giving you example of these two. Suppose that you want to say that I am paying attention towards my studies these days. These days I am paying attention towards my studies. This is a affirmative sentence. And if you say that I am not paying proper attention towards my studies these days, this is the negative sentence. But affirmative and negative sentence, both sentences are in the category of the assertive sentence. Does not matter if the sentence is negative, so you can say it's only a negative sentence. You can say it's a assertive sentence, because assertive sentence consists negative and positive sense both. I got my point? Assertive sentence consists positive and negative sense both. Fine. Now let's proceed and talk about the interrogative sentence. It's also classified into two. This is the basic classification of this one. This one is simple interrogative, and the second one that is before you, more interrogative. Fine. So simple interrogative. The basic thing is that whenever we want to ask a question to someone, whenever we want to inquire something about someone, so we use interrogative sentences. But the way of using simple interrogative is something different. In the simple interrogative sentence, we use helping verb at the starting of the sentence. At the starting of the sentence, we use helping verb. Okay. And whenever we want to use more interrogative sentence, we use question word at the starting of the sentence. Fine. This is the basic difference between two. After using helping verb, we just put a subject, then after we put main verb of the sentence, and then after we use object and complement of the sentence. At the end of the sentence, we just put question mark. This is very important thing, and this is really a recognition of interrogative sentences and more interrogative. More interrogative sentences are always started with a question word, and then after we use helping verb, then after we use subject, and then after we use object or complement of the subject. Fine. At the end of the sentence we put question mark. So I am just giving you some more example of this one. Suppose that you are saying that are you preparing for your competitive examination? Are you preparing for your exams? Are you not paying attention towards your studies? Are you not studying properly? Are you not feeling well these days? Are you not well today? Am I not feeling well today? And why am I not feeling well today? These types of the sentences are there. Where do you live? What does this word denote? And what's the time when will you come to meet me? So these types of the sentence that I spoke before you, what is the time when will you come to meet me? This is the category of the interrogative sentence, but the basic thing is that the sentence is complex sentence. That is not the simple sentence, that is the complex sentence. So we will talk about it later. That is the another thing. So this is the simple interrogative, this is the more interrogative. This is the classification of the sentence, because your narration portion is totally depend on that. Now the imperative sentences. Imperative sentence is not classified into two, it's only one sentence, and let's talk about it. Imperative sentences are always used whenever you want to give some order, whenever you want to give some command or request or ask to someone. Fine. But the most important thing of using imperative sentences is that it is always started with your main verb. It's basic thing that it is always started with your main verb, and subject is hidden in the imperative sentence. The subject is hidden, right? This subject is in a second person, and what is the word that come in the second person? You come in the second person. So it's always hidden in the imperative sentence. Suppose that you want to order to someone, you want to request to someone, or you want to ask to someone, you have to use this particular sentence. And in our daily routine and day-to-day life, many of the times is sometime or often we use only imperative sentence. Without using imperative sentence, we cannot speak English, because imperative sentence is a basic sentence that we use in day-to-day life. Suppose that you just want to give an order to someone and you want to say, do you work properly? And always speak the truth. I'm just writing over here and you have to make it classified. Always speak the truth. The sentence is written before you, and the negative of this one, never tell a lie. These two sentences are true. So you can just ask me that there is not use of main verb at the starting of the sentence, and I'm saying that you have to use main verb at the starting of the sentence. So rules are not applicable in this sentence. Rules are not following this sentence. So I'm just giving you a clarification of this one. Always and never. Always and never. These are underlined. So always and never. These are your adverbs. These are your adverbs. And after this, if I talk about this one, speak and tell. These are your main verb, and these are the first form of the main verb. Okay. So always and never. These are the adverbs, and adverb can be used either starting of the sentence or the mid of the sentence or at the end of the sentence. Adverbs don't have any proper place of using. That's why these are used at the starting of the sentence, at the mid of the sentence, or at the end of the sentence. So this is your main verb, and the sentences is started with your main verb. Right? Do your work properly. So here, do is your main verb, your work is your object, and properly. What is properly here? Properly is your adverb. Properly is your adverb. Okay. You can also say, do you work in a proper way, and always talk carefully, always listen to me carefully, pay proper attention towards your work. If you say like this, pay proper attention towards your work. So the sentence, I'm just writing here the sentence, and you will get it clear. Pay proper attention towards your work. Okay. So here, pay. What is pay? This is your main verb, and proper. And attention, we talk about this one. Attention is a noun. Attention is a noun. And before noun, if any word is used, it means that word qualifies this one. So here, proper word is qualifying attention. Proper word is qualifying attention. So the word that qualifies or says something about noun or pronoun, what are these words? What are these words called? These words are called adjective. So proper is your adjective, properly is your adverb. In a proper way, this is also your adverb. So and attention, this is your noun. This is your noun. And what is the adjective of this one? Attentive. Adjective of this one is attentive, and the adverb of this one is attentively. Fine. And the last of the word that I use as a complement or the object of the sentence. The negative sentences are also like this. Don't abuse to anyone. Don't waste your time. Always, the sentence that is written, always be positive. Always be positive. So your always is your adverb, but the be word that is used, be. What is the be here? Be is your main verb. Be is your main verb. Be is your main verb, and many words are family member of this one, just like Izaram and was verb. These are the family member. This is the main verb. This is the main verb, and Izaram was verb. This is the family member and positive. Always be positive. So we can see that imperative sentences are always started with your main verb. Always have a positive attitude towards your life. Have a positive. So sometimes have, have, and had. These are used as a helping verb in the sentence, but sometimes these are used as a main verb in the sentence. So the sentence always have a positive attitude towards your life. Here, have is your main verb. Have is your main verb, and this is your imperative sentences. Have you got my point? And never say ill to anyone. Never be pessimistic in your life. Always be optimistic in your life. Always try to adjust yourself in adverse circumstances like this. So this is the just meaning of the imperative sentences. Let's proceed to optative sentences. Optative sentences are those types of the sentences in which we just bless to someone, we wish to someone, we curse to someone, and the main word that is for recognition, may word is used. May you live long. May you have a nice. May you have a nice luck in your life, and good evening, good morning. Have a nice journey, wish you very happy birthday, congratulations, like this. So these types of the sentences which consist blessings, curse, and whenever we want to give any regard and reference to something. Fine. And the last one, that is the left, exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentences are those types of the sentences in which we just express our sudden feelings and emotions, and the inner thoughts that is going on into our mind, and there are some words that we use for that. I'm just writing over here some words that denote different expression and different things, just like loss. So this word is denote sadness, disappointment. Fine. My dear one has died. Okay. So the most important thing is that whenever we are talking about the exclamatory sentence, exclamation sign is important, and to pray. It's a sign of joy and happiness. I secured first position in my class. Okay. Next one, bravo. You have given terrific. We have given terrific performance. Okay. So this is the sign of the appreciation. This is the sign of giving praise to someone, and it's compulsory to use exclamation sign in the exclamatory sentences. So this is the classification of sentences, and we can do some. Take some more examples of this one. I'm just giving you more example of this one. So these are the 5 types of the sentences. So then after we will start the tense portion, and then after we will do some more examples of the narration. So sentences are completed, and these are 5 in numbers. Just like I'm paying attention towards my studies, you are not listening to me, and are you not feeling well these days? Why not feeling well these days? Try to do your work in a proper way, and may you have a long life, and alas, someone has died. Hooray, I secured good position in my class. So these are the examples of your sentences. Then after we will start the tense portion, because you should have some basic introduction of the tense, because your narration is really dependent upon that. Whenever you have thoroughly knowledge of the tense, then you can do the narration portion very well. So I hope so that you have got tense and reported speech very well. And that's enough for you today. Thank you, and have a nice day.